Hi everyone. I want to talk about something that I think is often overlooked in the GunTube community. If you're looking for a video that's just going to show you kind of the cool guns and stuff right now, stuff like this isn't going to be that video, but I hope that I can share some things about self-awareness in responsible concealed carry. And I think some of you may think about this from time to time. Some of you may not, and maybe this is the first time you've thought about these kinds of things. So I hope this is helpful. And one of the things I want to talk about is how we can be less reactive and more in control. And self-awareness comes from being able to not be in such a reactive state. For example, when someone races past us and cuts us off and we want to speed up. We just don't even realize it. Unconsciously, we want to get past them. It's an ego thing. I want to share a few examples here, and I want to start with saying there's a few stories I have from this year from my own personal work. I work here in the city that I live in, and without going into too much detail, I want to provide you a few examples of how people can react aggressively, and often how I think that comes from making judgments and assumptions. Before I tell these two stories, I want to remind us that weapons are not a form of intimidation. They are a last resort. Two stories I have. One, I was by my work vehicle, my truck, doing some work in a certain area of the city, and I saw a woman in the distance who seemed to be making judgments about me. She seemed kind of fearful and afraid, and she's walking this big dog, and to me it looked like this dog was somewhat of an extension of her fear. It seemed like she was getting ready for an interaction with a guy like me. I can't control other people's perception, so when she came up to walk past me, she kind of encouraged her dog in the front of her leash to sort of come towards me and bark aggressively, and I could tell this lady got pleasure out of that. She felt safer in her mind. In her world, I was nice, I said hi, it didn't matter. Another story from just last week was I was out working again with my vehicle, by my vehicle, and I had a woman approach me shaking, recording, just upset. She asked me if there was any reason why my vehicle, my city vehicle, was parked in an area I'm trained to park. And I could tell she was worked up. And my goal then was to, give her good answers and hopefully calm her down. I'd never seen this person before. She had never seen me because I was in that area on a day of the week I don't normally go there because of a change in our schedule. And she, it seemed from a distance, had taken it personally, that I was maybe taking up space. And so I tried to talk her down. By the end of it, she had calmed down, was still recording. These are examples of how our egos and how our perceptions can mislead us. Most of us, most people, I feel we often have some kind of conversation going on in our head, and we're always making judgments. And there are a few, I guess, who don't have that constant conversation. But the goal of this video is to remind us that there are things we can do, like deep breaths and breathing, taking 5 minutes out of our day to just sit and observe what's going on in here. I once had a therapist help me by painting this picture that the chatter and the racing mind is kind of like a storm or clouds, and we can just let them go by. There's so much power and significance in being able to create that little bit of separation, even if we're just aware that, hey, I'm really worked up right now, I don't feel safe. The thing is, when we create that space to realize that about our emotional body being in this sort of fight, reactive state, is then we can choose what we do, and with that broader perspective, we're looking around, we're not hyper-focused in on something. If this video helped at all, even if it was just a reminder, please like, comment, subscribe. I just had the first video here on this brand new YouTube channel go over 100 views, which is kind of cool. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.